Hello my dear students and welcome once again to Zenith Academy Online. Today I am here to solve with you all the possible numericals that can come from the chapter Sound for ICSE Class 10 board examinations. So here I'll discuss with you the short numericals, the long numericals, every type of numerical that can come. So after watching this video you will be able to solve all the types of questions from the chapter Sound. So let's begin. First, we will start with short numericals. The first question is, a boy standing in front of a wall at a distance of 17 meter produces 10 claps per second. Okay, in 1 second he is producing 10 claps. He notices that the sound of his clapping coincides with the echo. So second, the sound of his clap is coinciding with the echo. When the echo is coming, that time other sound is coming. Echo is heard only once when the clapping is stopped. So in the end, the echo is heard when the clapping is stopped. Calculate the speed of the sound. Okay. So suppose this is the wall. Here the boy is standing. Okay. So this distance is 17 meter. Now in the clapping questions you have to understand that 10 claps per second. What do you mean by 10 claps per second? Anyone? If there is 10 claps per second, okay, that means what? That means each clap is produced after how much time? In 1 second there are 10 claps. So each clap is produced in 1 by 10 seconds. That is 0.1 second time. Right? So now we have got time is equal to 0.1 second. No? And since the sound is going from here, striking it and coming back. So if I take this as D, 17 as D, then it is going here and coming back. So twice of D I have to take. And anyways, we know the formula also. The formula speed is 2D by T, right? In case of echo. That is the velocity. So the velocity will be twice into distance, that is 17 upon time is 0.1 second. So this will be 34 upon 0.1. If I multiply with, if I want to remove the decimal, multiply with 10. So multiply 10 here. So it becomes 340 since it is velocity. So meter per second. That's the answer. Understood? Now next question. So here you should understand that the echo is, first of all, echo is coinciding with the clap and it is heard only once. So you just have to simply take the time period. Time for each clap. Because anyways the echo is coinciding, right, with the sound of his clapping. And it is heard for the last time. Then only it is heard. So you just have to take this time. Okay. I hope this is clear why you have taken it like this. Okay. Now in the next, an observer stands in front of a vertical wall. Again, clapping. Claps 10 times in a second. He adjusts his distance from the wall in such a way. Now he keeps on moving front and back and adjust in such a way that second clapping coincides with the echo. है ना, जब वो सेकंड क्लैप कर रहा है तब उसको एको सुनाई दे रहा है. तो इट मीन्स अगेन द सेम जैसे पहले हुआ था. पहले उसको 10th वाली क्लैपिंग में, लास्ट क्लैपिंग में सुनाई दिया था. अभी उसको सेकंड क्लैपिंग में सुनाई, मतलब उसकी सेकंड क्लैपिंग में ही एको सुनाई दे क्या, तो लास्ट में सुनाई दे, या सेकंड में कोइंसाइड हुआ ऐसे बोल रहा है. और यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहा था कि साउंड ऑफ हिज क्लैपिंग कोइंसाइड्स विद द एको. तो all the claps coincides. So here also it's the same. ऐसे उसने एडजस्ट किया कि वो सेकेंड क्लैपिंग को एको के साथ कोइंसाइड किया, उसने इस तरीके से अपने आप को मूव किया. सो इन दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस व्हेन द क्लैपिंग इज कोइंसाइडिंग विद द एको, ओके, इन दैट यू हैव टू जस्ट टेक द टाइम पीरियड फॉर वन क्लैप. ओके, सो टाइम पीरियड फॉर वन क्लैप is equal to 1 by 10. Now 10 claps in 1 second. So it is 0.1 seconds. This is the time. Okay, now distance is given 17.5. Velocity is asked. We know velocity is 2d by time. This is the formula, put it in the box. So velocity will be 2 into 17.5 upon 0.1. So 17.5 into 2 is 350. So it is, 34. 34 divided by 0.1 is 350 meter per second. Next, two waves of the same pitch. दो waves हैं, ठीक है, जिनकी pitch same है, have their amplitude in the ratio 2:3. Amplitude of one wave is to amplitude of second wave is 2:3. What will be the ratio of their loudness and what will be the ratio of the frequency? तो पहला वाला. Now we should know that loudness and intensity both are directly proportional to square of the amplitude. So loudness is square of the amplitude. So loudness of first wave is to loudness of second wave, will be proportional to amplitude of first wave का square is to amplitude of second wave का square, right? So it will be 2 square is to 3 square, that is 4:9. So L1 is to L2 is equal to 4:9. This is the first one. Okay. Now for the second one, what will be the ratio of the frequencies? We know that frequency is directly proportional to pitch. Frequency is directly proportional to pitch. These two formulas are important. Please make a box. तो frequency और pitch तो same होता है और यहाँ बोला है कि both the waves have the same pitch. So frequency of first wave is to frequency of second wave will be equal to 1:1 because pitch for both the waves is same. So the answer is 1:1. Let's go to the next type of question. Observer stands at a certain distance away from the cliff and produces a loud sound. Okay. He hears the echo of the sound after 1.8 seconds. Calculate the distance between the cliff and the observer if the velocity is given. See, we know if this is a cliff, this is a person. We have understood this in theory very well. And if this is the distance, then what is the total distance traveled by wave? The wave will travel from here to here. It will strike back and come back into our ears. Then only we will be able to hear. So the total distance traveled will be 2d. So we know velocity is distance by time. So distance is 2d upon time. Now we are told to find the distance. Only d we are told to find. So see, 2d is equal to v into t. So d will be equal to v into t upon 2. So velocity दे रखी है 340. Time is 1.8 upon 2. You just have to solve this. The answer will be 306 meters. Clear to you? Let's go to the next question. A man standing between two cliffs. Now there are two cliffs. A man is standing between them. And here's two successive echoes, intervals of 3 seconds and 4 seconds. Now suppose the man is standing closer to this cliff A. This is cliff A, cliff B. So if he is standing closer, then he will be able to hear the echo in 3 seconds. And this is a little far, so he will be able to hear the echo in 4 seconds. Calculate the distance between the two cliffs. ये distance निकालने को बोला है, total distance. Right? So what you will do? Now suppose this distance is d1, this distance is d2. So d will be d1 plus d2. So let's find d1 first. Now we know the formula. Velocity is 2d by time. So d is equal to vt by 2. Right? We know this. So first we will find d1. So d1 will be velocity into time. Time is 3 seconds upon 2. Correct? So velocity is given to you 3. Velocity is given 330 meter per second. So here d1 will be 330 into 3 upon 2. So which will be 495 meters. Right? This is d1. Similarly, d2 will be velocity into time. Time is 4 seconds now upon 2. Now velocity is 330 into 4 upon 2. So this 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. So this will be 660 meter. So total distance will be d1 plus d2. So it will be 495 plus 660, which will be equal to 1155 meters. I hope this is clear. Moving on to the next question. बच्चों कहीं पे भी प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, please write in the comment section in any question. If you are having a issue, I will help you. Now, an instrument is able to detect the reflected waves from an enemy aeroplane after time interval of 0.02 milliseconds. Okay, so time interval is 0.02 milliseconds. Okay, if the velocity of the wave is, ये रॉन्ग आ गया है, वेलोसिटी होती है 3 into 10⁸ meter per second. Calculate the distance of the plane from the radar. So radar also echo principle is used. We don't need to draw a rough diagram. We know the formula very well. So first of all millisecond को second में convert करो. Okay, so 0.02 milliseconds into seconds. We have to convert it into seconds. So we have to multiply by 10⁻³ or we have to divide by 1000, right? Millisecond. So 0.02 divide by 1000, or we can write 0.02 into 10⁻³. One and the same thing. Children, understood? This is second. 1000 से divide करो या 10⁻³ से multiply करो. This is velocity. Now distance. Now we know that distance. What will be the formula of distance? Abhi just now we did. See, distance is Vt by 2. So distance will be Vt by 2. So what is the velocity? 3 into 10⁸. Time is 0.02 into 10⁻³ and this is 2. Now if I want to remove this decimal, I have to multiply with 100. So what I will do, I will divide also by 100, then only this will happen. If I multiply and divide by 100, the number remains same. So now this becomes 2, right? I am writing a 2 here. So this 2 and 2 gets cancelled. When this 100 comes up, this is 3 into 10⁸. This is 10⁻³ When this comes up, it becomes 10⁻⁻. Positive. This was positive 2. When it comes up, it becomes negative 2. Right. So this is 3 into 10⁸ into 10⁻⁻6. -5. Multiply थोड़ी होता है ना. So this becomes equal to 3 into 10⁻⁻3 meters, since it is a distance. Clear? Very nice. Any doubts? Write in the comment section. Keep on writing. The smoke from the gun barrel is seen 2 seconds before the explosion is heard. If the speed of the sound is 340 meter per second, calculate the distance of the observer from the gun. State the approximation used. अच्छा देखो, एक गन बैरल है ना, उस गन बैरल वो शूट जब किया तो उसमें से स्मोक दिख रहा है. द स्मोक फ्रॉम द गन बैरल इज सीन 2 seconds before the explosion is heard. If the speed of the sound in air is 340 meter per second, calculate the distance of the observer from the gun. Okay. So light has a very high speed, that is 3 into 10⁸. In comparison to sound, sound has a very low speed, around 340 meter. Therefore we can assume that light takes negligible time, है ना. Light takes very less, मतलब 0 time to reach whereas sound takes 2 second time to reach, है ना? So now we know that the speed is equal to distance by time. So distance will be speed into time, which is equal to 340 is the speed of sound, no? 340 sound, and time is given 2 seconds. So 680 meter is the distance. And what is the approximation we have used? I told you what is the approximation we have used, that light travels in no time, है ना? Light takes negligible time, and sound takes 2 seconds. Why? Since speed of light is, which is 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second, is very high, है ना? Is very large in comparison to speed of sound. और हमें पता है ना ये दोनों, तो लिख लो, which is around 340 meter per second. It is better to mention if we know already speed of light and speed of sound. So why not to impress the examiner, isn't it? I hope you have understood this. Let's go ahead. A person fires a gun while standing at a distance of 850 meter from a building. If the speed of sound is 350 meter per second, calculate the time in which the person hears an echo of the gunfire, है ना? तो गन यहाँ से उसने चलाई, गन is here, okay? This is building, the distance is 850 meter, the gun shot has gone here and gunfire has, the sound has come back. So when he fires a gun, there's a sound, the sound travels, goes to the building and comes back, and he hears the echo. That time is asked. So definitely it's a question of echo. So for echo we know what will be the time. The distance will be 2d, the velocity will be v. So what will be the formula of time? See, d is, sorry, a person fires a gun. So t is 2d by v, right? So 2 into distance by time. What was the time? कहाँ गया time? हाँ, टाइम तो हमें निकालना है ना. What is the velocity? 350. So it is 4.86 when you solve this. This was very easy. Now, a sound made on the surface of a lake takes 3 seconds to reach a boatman. How much time will it take to reach a diver inside the water at the same depth? Now read the question very carefully. Okay? Read very carefully. Now this is not a question of echo. A sound made on the surface of lake takes 3 seconds to reach the boatman. Okay? So if a boat is here, you know, sound is made somewhere here on the surface. It takes 3 seconds to reach the boatman. How much time will it take to reach a diver inside the water at the same depth? तो ये जितना दूर है उतनी ही डेप्थ पे एक डाइवर है ना? So he is not saying कि echo वापस echo होके आए. See, echo is not here. The question is how much time will it take to reach him? Okay, that's the question. So in this we will not take 2D. So first let's consider the case of the boat. A sound made on the surface takes 3 seconds. So time is 3 seconds to reach a boatman. Now in this, the velocity in air will be given to you. The velocity in water will be given to you of sound. So in air and water, in the question it will be given to you. Okay. 1 minute, where's this question? Let me find what exactly they have given you. Velocity of sound in air is given to you as 330 meter per second in this question, and 1450. This will be provided to you. Okay, so in the first case, we know velocity is distance by time. Alright, velocity is distance by time. So we have to find distance. Distance is velocity into time. Now velocity is 330 because it is in air, and time is 3 seconds. So this will be 990 meters here. So at the same depth, now here the distance is 990 meter. Speed is given 1450. What is asked? Time is asked. So you can find. So this time dash is equal to distance upon velocity dash. So distance is 990, velocity is 1450. तो ये तो 0 point something आएगा ना, क्योंकि डिनोमिनेटर बड़ा है. तो 0.682 seconds. Understood, children? So you have to read the question very carefully, where you have to take 2D and where you don't have to take. Here echo was not there. Next, a boy stands 66.4 meter in front of a high wall and then blows a whistle. Calculate the time interval when he hears an echo. एकदम सिंपल है, तो डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन है, स्पीड भी दे रखा है ना. सो वी हैव टू फाइंड टाइम. टाइम इज गिवन, आस्क्ड, है ना. डिस्टेंस इज गिवन टू यू 66.4. velocity is given to you 332 meter per second. So we know time will be equal to 2D by V. Always put the formula in the box and then just simply calculate. आप पॉज करके कैलकुलेट कर सकते हो. I don't want to waste your time, so I'm just writing the final answer here. 0.4 seconds. Right? Just blow away this decimal, add a 0 here, then cancel with 2 and you will get 0.4 seconds. Next, a ship which is stationary. अब यहाँ पे एक शिप है, स्टेशनरी खड़ी हुई है, at a distance of 680 meter from a shore. ये शोर है ना, किनारा है, ये पानी है. Sends a signal to the coast. कलर चेंज कर देती हूँ. Sending a signal to the coast. Its echo is heard in 4 seconds. तो कोस्ट पे आके वापस रिटर्न होके echo सुनाई दे रहा है. तो अब ये डेफिनेटली echo का क्वेश्चन है, तो इसमें 2D लगेगा. टाइम है 4 सेकेंड. Find the velocity of sound. Why I am giving you all different types of questions so that you understand कहाँ 2D लगना है, कहाँ नहीं लगना है. So it is very important to draw the diagram. Okay. So this was very easy. Echo question is there. So velocity is 2D by time. So 2 into 680 upon time is 4 seconds. So 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, then 2 3s are 6, 2 4s are 8 and 0. So the answer is 340 meter per second. Easy. Let's go ahead. An observer stands at a distance of 850 meter from a cliff and fires a gun. After what time gap will he hear the echo? If the sound travels at this speed, again same question. Distance is given to you as 850 meter. Okay. Time is asked. Speed is given to you 350 meter per second. So direct formula application question is there. This is, so time is equal to 2D by V. Pause the video, solve the sum. After you have solved, this is 4.86 seconds. So also, but children, remember formula, there is a marks for formula, there is a marks for substitution of the values. So just don't do everything in rough and write like this. So you have to write 2 into 850. Just don't multiply and write. You have to write 2 into 850 upon 350. then you can show directly. Okay, but it is always advisable to do the rough work on the same page where you are solving this. I've already made a video on paper presentation, so you know. Now, the wavelength and frequency of sound are in a certain medium is 40 centimeter and 835 hertz. So wavelength is 40 centimeter and frequency. Now frequency can be represented by this symbol or this symbol. Okay, this is 835 hertz in the same medium. If another wave has a wavelength equal to 32 meter, now another wave have a wavelength equal to 32 centimeter, calculate its frequency. F2 you have to calculate. Okay, suppose this is 1 and 1. I am taking F, okay, for convenience. You can take, chalo dono le lete hain, theek hai. So in both the mediums, what will be same? Since the medium is same, so the velocity of this wave will be same since the medium is not changing. So let's find the velocity. Velocity we know is frequency into wavelength. You know the formula, right? So this is 835 into, now see, this is 40 centimeter. We have to convert it into meters, standard units. So 40 centimeter को हमें मीटर में convert करना पड़ेगा, right? So it will be 0.40 meter. We have divided by 100. So 0.40. So this answer becomes 334 meter per second. So the same velocity we can take here, 334 meter per second. Now we have wavelength, we have velocity. Can we find frequency? Yes, we can. From the same formula, first we will write the formula. Velocity is frequency into wavelength. Yes, so we have to find frequency, और जो भी आपको कंफर्टेबल लगे बेटा वो लिखो, है ना, velocity upon wavelength. So velocity is 334, wavelength is again 32 centimeter, you have to convert into meter, so 0.32 meter upon 0.32 meter, right? So the answer is, pause the video, find out on your own without calculator. It is this much, right? Don't forget the units, children. Please, your half marks would be cut if you forget the units. Don't forget the units. Next question. A pendulum has a frequency. Now I will take F so that you don't get confused. Frequency of 5 vibrations per second. 5 vibrations per second. An observer starts the pendulum and fires the gun simultaneously. Okay, so the gun is fired, and the pendulum is started, pendulum bhi start kar diya at the same time, and maybe this is the obstruction. So he fires a gun, this sound comes back. Okay, now time is not given to you. Now he is saying when the sound comes back, okay, it is after 8 vibrations of the pendulum. After 8 vibrations of the pendulum, he is able to hear the echo. Okay, if the velocity of sound in air is 340 meter per second, what is the distance between the cliff and the observer? So this distance is asked. Have you understood the question perfectly? So instead of time, they have given you कि ऐसे ये vibration में we have set, okay, and after 8 vibrations we are hearing. So see, if there are 5 vibrations per second, then what is the time period? The time period will be how much? Time period is 1 by frequency. So time period is 1 by 5 hertz, 1 by 5. So after 8 vibrations, 8 vibrations. So after 8 vibrations, what will be time? Time will be 8 into 1 by 5, which is 8 by 5. So this we have to take as time. This we have to take as time because now time is not given. So time is 8 by 5 second. Now the things are clear. This is a very important type of a question, bachcho. So now we have time, we have velocity. Can we find out the distance? Yes, distance is velocity into time upon 2. So it is 340 into 8/5 upon 2. Now you cancel the things and find out the answer. 2 4s are 8. Now 5 6s are 30. 5 8s are 40. 68 into 4. 8 4 9 32. 272. So the distance is 272 meters. Clear? This is a very important question. So if you have not understood, watch, pause it, go back, watch it again, copy the question, solve this. Very important for board exams. Next, a radar sends a signal to an aircraft. So suppose there is this radar here and sending the signal to an aircraft. Please bear with my drawing right now. Okay. Now this is at a distance of, what is the distance? 30 kilometer. And receives it back. So when it is sending the signal, it is receiving it back. So distance is 2d. Anyways, we know in radar we have to use echo. Hai? Receives it back after 2 into 10 raised to power minus 4 seconds. So time is 2 into 10 raised to power minus 4 seconds. What is the speed of the signal? So again direct question hai, but I have just put up different type of questions so that you know कि ऐसे आ सकते हैं, right? But they are all, you have to do the same thing. So speed is equal to 2d by time. So it is 2 into distance is 30 kilometer. Now since it is kilometer, we have to convert it into meter. So 30 into 1000. So 10 raised to power 3 ले लो. So 30 into 10 raised to power 3. Now time is 2 into 10 raised to power minus 4. Now what you can do is 2 and 2 gets cancelled. This minus 4 if I bring up, 30 remains as it is. 10 raised to power 3 remains as it is. And minus 4 becomes plus 4. So this becomes now 30 into 10 raised to power 7. Or in physics we know after 1 we have to write. So 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. Never leave physics, in physics the answer like this in 2 digits. It has to be one significant figure, 3 point something. Okay. So if you bring, if decimal is here, if you bring the decimal here, you take this number on the other side, on the right hand side, right? So 30 से 3 हुआ तो 7 से 8 हो जाएगा. I hope you know this rule very well. Let's go ahead. The sound wave traveling in water has a wavelength of 0.4 meter. Wavelength is given. Is this wave audible in air? Speed is given. Speed is given 1400. So you just have to find out whether you will be able to hear this sound. So for that we have to find whether it is falling in the audible range. You know this is the audible range. Audible range you know now. Audible range. So let's find out frequency. We know that velocity is frequency into wavelength. So frequency will be velocity upon wavelength. Velocity is 1400 and wavelength is 0.4 meter. So it will be 3500 hertz. Clear? Since the frequency remains unchanged in air, the wave is audible in air because 3500 falls in the audible range of frequency. You have to write this sentence, okay? That this falls in the audible range of frequency, this range. That is why we are able to hear it. Next, two waves of the same pitch have the amplitude of the ratio 1:3. What will be the ratio of intensity? I told you intensity and loudness, है ना, both are directly proportional to square of amplitude. So intensity 1 is to intensity 2 will be amplitude 1 square is to amplitude 2 square, which is 1 square and 3 square given to you here. So this will be 1:9. The first answer is 1:9. And frequencies, frequency we know is directly proportional to pitch. Now let's see how is the pitch changing here in this question. Now in this question they have given you same pitch, both the waves are having the same pitch. So frequency 1 is to frequency 2 will be 1:1. Clear to you? Next question. Wherever you have an issue in any of the question, please write in the comment section. Pendulum has a frequency of 4 vibrations per second. अरे ये क्या हुआ? 4 vibrations per second. An observer starts the pendulum and fires a gun. Same question. गन भी स्टार्ट की है और पेंडुलम भी स्टार्ट किया है. He hears an echo from the cliff. Suppose this is a wall or a cliff. After 6 vibrations of the pendulum. So इसकी frequency is 4 vibrations per second. 4 vibrations per second. So time period is 1/4. Now there are 6 vibrations. Therefore the time taken will be 6 into 1/4. That is 6/4. You can cancel here itself. 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6. 3/2 seconds. So the time taken by this is 3/2 seconds. That is 1.5 seconds. Right. Velocity is given. You can find the distance between the cliff and the observer. So pause the video. Pause the video, my dear children. Solve this and I am giving you the answer. Done? So the answer is 255 meters. Please check for yourself. So here the short numericals comes to an end. Let's try and do the long numericals now. Okay. Let's go. Now this is 2-part, 2-mark question. Okay. When a tuning fork is held close to the ear, when you hit the tuning fork and place it close to a ear, one hears the faint hum. Let me read the question first. When a tuning fork is held close to ear, one hears a faint hum. The same vibrating tuning fork is held such that its stem is in contact with the table surface. Now the stem of this tuning fork is in contact with the table. If this is a table surface, then one hears a loud sound. Now we are able to hear a loud sound. Explain. This was a theory part. I had explained you in detail about the forced vibrations. है ना बच्चों? So let me read out the answer to this. Tuning fork is held, when the tuning fork is held close to the ear, it disturbs a small volume of the air. है ना? Tuning fork और कान के बीच में थोड़ा ही air है, तो सिर्फ उसी को disturb करेगा वो, है ना? Are you getting it? Now when the handle of this vibrating tuning fork is held against the table top, it sets up the forced vibrations. Forced vibrations ले आता है वो कहाँ पे? In the table top, है ना? It sets up the forced vibration in the table top. As the table top has a large surface area, large volume of air is set into the vibration. इसके टेबल से large volume of air will also set into vibration and hence we are able to hear a louder sound. Now second one is very easy. We have already done lots of questions like this. A man standing in front of a vertical cliff fires a gun. He hears the echo after 3.5 seconds. So time is 3.5 seconds. On moving closer to the cliff. Okay, I will draw this diagram for you. Okay. So this is the cliff. A man is standing here initially. A man standing in front of a vertical cliff fires a gun. He hears the echo after 3.5 seconds. On moving closer to the cliff by 84 meter. तो 84 मीटर चला है वो, तो यहाँ से यहाँ कितना है 84 मीटर. he hears an echo after 3 seconds. Getting it? Initially, he was hearing the echo after 3.5 seconds. Now he is hearing the echo after 3 seconds. Okay. Calculate the distance of the cliff from the initial position. This was the initial position. From here to here you have to find this distance. Now suppose this is D. Now this is 84. So what it will be? This will be D minus 84. Isn't it? Isn't it? So now if this is position A and position B. So at position A. Okay, at position A. Now speed. Now speed will be what? Speed will be 2D by T. So twice into. Now abhi distance is pura D. At here the distance is full D na. This is the distance at A. And upon time. Time is 3.5 seconds. So 2D upon 3.5. Now at the position B, what will be the velocity? Velocity is again 2D by T. So 2 into abhi distance kitna hai? D minus 84 upon time is 3 seconds. But you have to understand that at both the positions, this is also velocity. This is also velocity. So we can equate them. So 2D upon 3.5 is equal to 2 into D minus 84 upon 3. So you solve this and cross multiply. So 6D is equal to, ये ऐसे cross हो गया, 3.5 into 2 into D is 7D minus 3.5 into 2 into 84 will be 588. So if it goes here, minus D equal to minus 588. Therefore, the distance D is equal to 588 meters. I hope this is clear. So this is 588 meters. Copy this question. Very important. Let me drink water. Have you copied? Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. A man stands in between two parallel cliffs and blows a whistle. So there are two parallel cliffs. He is blowing a whistle. Now suppose the man is standing here. So he hears the first echo after 0.6 seconds and second echo after 2.4 seconds. Calculate the distance between the cliffs. So this total distance we have to calculate. Okay. I hope you have understood. So this is the smaller distance. So here if he speaks and hears it, it will take 0.6 second time. And here if he speaks and hears the echo, he will listen it after 2.4 seconds. So what we can do is, speed is given to you. Time is given to you. Can you find this D1? And here can you find this D2? So the total distance D will be D1 plus D2. Chalo. Pause the video right now. Find D1, D2 and add them. I will just give you a hint for D1. Okay. So, एक minute, huh? This was two cliffs wala question, na? So distance ka, what is the formula for distance? Come on, write in the comment section what is the formula for. See, V is equal to 2D by T. So D will be Vt by 2. We have done so many times. Now you should be very, very thorough. So for D1, the velocity is 336. Time is 0.6 upon 2. For D2, the velocity is 336. Time is 2.4 upon 2. You find the value of this, find the value of this and add them. Pause the video. I am going to give you the correct answer. Yes, the correct answer is 504 meter total. Let's move ahead. I hope you are understanding the concept. One main motto is to give you the concept and for you to solve together. It should not be like a movie that I am teaching you and you are just listening. You also do it right now and check your answers. Next. A boy stands in front of a cliff on the roadside, on the other side of a river. He fires a gun and hears an echo after 6 seconds. The boy then moves backward by 170 meters and again fires the gun. He hears an echo after 7 seconds. Calculate the width of the river and the speed of the sound. Okay. So let the width of the river be x. Let me make a river. ये x है ना, and here is a cliff. Here is the boy standing. So a boy stands in front of a cliff on the other side of a river. He fires a gun and hears an echo after 6 seconds. Okay. Now the boy moves backward by 170 meter. Now the boy has moved here 170 meter here. Now he again fires the gun and he hears the echo after 7 seconds. Calculate the width of the river and the speed of the sound. Have you understood the drawing? Have you understood the question? So हम लिखेंगे let the width of the river be x. Let the width of river be x meters. Okay. Now when the boy stands on the bank of the river, velocity is 2d by t. Same formula we will use. So it will be 2 into d is distance is x upon time is 6. So this is x by 3. Velocity is x by 3. Have you understood? This is our first equation. Now the boy moves backward. Correct? So now second case. मैं ऐसे short में लिख रही हूँ because there is no space. So now velocity is 2d by t. Now what is the distance now? The distance is 170 plus x. Can you see? 170 plus x. So this will be 170 plus x upon time. Time is 7 seconds now in this case. Now this is your equation number 2. Now this is also v. This is also v. So we can equate. So x by 3 is equal to 2 by 7 into 170 plus x. Now you just simply cross multiply and find out the answer. Pause the video here. When you cross multiply and find the answer of x, the value of x will be 1020 meters. See if you are able to find this. And then you can substitute the value of x here. So velocity is also, speed of the sound is also asked. So velocity will be 1020 upon 3. So this will become 340 meter per second. So later on you can do this as well. I hope the concept is clear and I hope you are pausing the videos in between and solving along with me. Very good. Keep the practice going on. Let's go ahead with the next question. A person standing between two vertical cliffs and 640 meter away from the nearest cliff. Suppose this is one cliff, this is another cliff. Nearest cliff, say, what's the distance? 640 meter. He shouted and heard the first echo. He shouted and heard the first echo after 4 seconds. And second echo after further 3 seconds. Confused मत हो जाना. बड़ा distance है, तो it's not only 3 seconds. It is after further 3 seconds. कैन यू सी या फर्दर 3 सेकेंड, मतलब ये तो 4 था, 4 के और 3 मिनट बाद, आफ्टर 3 मिनट्स, सो 4 + 3, so this is 7 seconds. Calculate the speed of the sound in air and the distance between the cliffs. So this is the total distance between the cliffs. I hope this is clear. Shall I explain now? Now d1 is 640, so this is distance 1, this is distance 2, and from here to here this is distance 2. So first we will see distance 1 is 640, time 1 is 4 seconds, right? So first we will find out this distance. See, so the velocity we can find out from this. Velocity is 2d by t, so it will be 2 into 640 by 4. 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2, 2 3s are 6, 2 0. So it is 320 meter per second. From the first itself we will be able to find out. Okay, now see the second case, d2 निकालना है, we have to find d2. So velocity is known to us as 320 meter per second, time is known to us as 7 seconds. We know the formula also, velocity is 2d by t, so time will be equal to, distance will be equal to vt by 2. Write the formula, put the box. So distance will be, velocity is 320, time is 7 seconds upon 2. So you find out the distance, 320 into 7 upon 2, it will be 1120 meters. Now you have to find the total distance between the cliffs. So total distance is d1 plus d2. d1 was given to you as 640 meter, d2 you just found out 1120, so the answer is 1760 meters. This was a very nice question. If you have understood, well and good. If you have not understood, please pause the video, go back and watch again, read the question carefully. Let's go ahead. So sorry. A man standing in front of a vertical cliff fires a gun. He hears an echo after 3 seconds. On moving close to the cliff by 82.5 meters, he fires again. This time he hears the echo after 2.5 seconds. Calculate the speed of the sound, distance and initial position of man from the cliff. I'm so sorry for the cold. Now the same type of question we have done. This is the cliff. This is where the man is standing. Okay, now from here he hears an echo after 3 seconds. If he fires a gun, he hears an echo after 3 seconds. Now on moving close to the cliff by 82.5 meter, same type of question we just did. He fires again and this time he hears an echo after 2.5 seconds. So we have to calculate the speed of the sound, distance and initial position of man from the cliff. So this is the initial position of the man from the cliff. This will be d minus 82.5. In both the cases the time is given to you. In this case, the first case, the time is 3 seconds. In the second case, time is 2.5 seconds. Will you be able to do this? Or shall I do? So I will do the first one. Velocity is 2d by t. Okay. So it will be, velocity we don't know, right? We have to calculate. So it is if I take this distance as d1 and this distance as d2, right? The first distance we know, velocity, first distance we know, for this, I will just rub this and write it again. Because of my cold, I got really confused. Just a second. Have you understood the diagram properly, बच्चों? है ना? So the first one, here's an echo after 3 seconds. Let me draw this again. This is 3 seconds. Let me take a different color. 3 seconds. And from here to here in 2.5 seconds. है ना? So for the first velocity is 2d by time, है ना? So for the first one, it is 2. Total distance is x. Oh, sorry, d. The total distance is d upon time. This is equation number 1. Now for the second case, this was at position A. I will write it properly. This is at position A. This is at position B. So at A, I have found out the velocity, but this is how the velocity will be. Now at B, what will be the velocity? Again, the formula remains same, 2d by t. But here, what is the distance? The distance is d minus 82.5. And now here I can take 3 as time, and here the time was 2.5. Right? This was equation number 2. Now in both the cases, this is velocity, so velocity will remain same. So 2d by 3 will be equal to 2d minus 82.5 upon 2.5. Correct? So if I solve, this is 2d. 2 into 82.5 is 165. So it is 2d by 3 is equal to 2d minus 165 upon 2.5. Now you just have to cross multiply and find the value of d. Right? So pause the video, find the value of d. Okay. So now the value of d will come out to be 495 meters. Now substituting this value of d, okay, we can find the, see, we have found the speed already. We can find the speed. Speed can be found by substituting this value of d in equation 1 or 2, whatever. This is easier, right? So we will substitute this value to find the velocity of sound. Distance we already found. I know. We can also say this second distance d minus 82.5, and we can say the initial distance is 495. I hope this is clear to you, bachcho. I hope this is clear. If you are facing any difficulty, please write in the comment section. Once you find out d, all the other 3 things can be found out if you know the concept really well. So for clearing the concepts, please go ahead and see my videos. I will give you the link in the description. Now this is almost the same type of question, again repeated. Waves produced on the surface of water are formed to move with a velocity of 24 meter per second. Wavelength is given, velocity is given 24 meter per second. Wavelength is given 20 centimeter, which we can convert it into meter. 0.20 meter हो जाएगा. Find the frequency and the time period. So easy. We know velocity is frequency into wavelength, right? So for frequency, it will be velocity upon wavelength. So for the first one, 24 upon 0.20. Find out the answer. And time period is 1 by frequency. Chalo, I will tell you the answer also. So 24 upon 0.20 will give you 120. How? See, if you remove the decimal, so into 100. So you put 100 here. So 10 and 10 gets cancelled. Then 2 ones are 2. 2 12s are 24 and 10 was 0. So 120. I hope this is clear. So this will be 1 upon 120. Time period is 1 upon frequency, so it will be 0. Oh god, I'm so sorry. So time period will be 1 upon frequency. It will be 1 upon 120, which will be 0.00833 seconds. Okay, clear? Let's go ahead. Okay, a man standing 25 meter away from a wall. So there's a wall, man standing 25 meter away receives the reflected sound. He produces a sound and receives a reflected sound. मतलब echo है. Calculate the time which he will receive the reflected sound if the speed is 350 meter per second. Distance is 25 meter. Everything is given. You have to find the time. So find out the answer. What is the formula of time? Time is equal to 2D upon V. So it will be 2 into 25 upon 350. So it will become 1 by 7. 0.14 seconds. So time is 0.14 seconds. Will the man be able to hear a distinct echo? Bachcho, give a reason. So here you will say there are two conditions for formation of echo. One is it should be 17 meters away, the observer and the obstacle. So they are already 25 meter away. And then the time interval, you know now, the persistence of sound, it should be more than 0.1 second. So yes, this is more than, the time is more than 0.1 second. Therefore, both the conditions are fulfilled. Therefore, echo will be there. Echo will be heard. You will have to write this in sentence form. Both the conditions are fulfilled. You have to state the conditions. This is a big numerical, okay? And please also show the working of calculating the time. Chalo, let's go ahead. There are three questions remaining, okay? So be patient. A man stands at a distance of 68 meters from a cliff and fires a gun. After what time interval will he hear the echo if the speed of the sound in air is 340 meters? Direct question hai. If the man had been standing at a distance of 12 meters from the cliff, would he have heard a clear echo? That's a question. Now orally also I can say कि अगर ये 12 meter है, it is less than 17 meters, so he will not be able to hear an echo, right? But I have to solve and show. Now the first one I think you can do. This is the distance. Time is asked. Speed is given. So first one you will do. The second part I am doing. In the second part also the distance is 12 meter. Speed of sound we know. In this question it is already given 340 meter per second. Because the speed of the sound will not change for this man. Now we have to calculate the distance. So distance is V speed into time upon 2. So 340 into sorry, this we have to find the time. Wait, we will not do this. We will write the formula of time. Distance is already given to you, 12 meter. Okay, so time will be total distance by speed. So 2 into what's the distance? 12, yes, upon 340. So if you solve, this is coming out to be 0.07 seconds. Now this time 0.07 is less than the persistence of sound, है ना, therefore no echo will be heard. But you will show this working. You will show this working. Also you will say also the distance is less than 17 meter. So both the conditions of the formation of echo is not fulfilled. So you will not be able to hear a distinct echo. Now this one is very interesting question, bachcho. Very interesting. Please note this down. This is a very nice question. A sound of wavelength 0.03 meter. So this is wavelength. Has a time period of 10 raised to power minus 3 second. If the time period is decreased to 10 raised to power minus 4 second, calculate wavelength and frequency of the new wave. Okay. Now initially the wavelength is 0.332 meters. Meters में ही है, we don't need to convert. Time period is 10 raised to power minus 3 seconds. So what will be the frequency? Frequency is 1 by time period. So it will be 1 upon 10 raised to power minus 3. If 10 raised to minus 3 goes up, it becomes 10 raised to power 3, right? Positive 3. This is the frequency. Now what is happening? Time is changed. Now the time period is equal to 10 raised to power minus 4 seconds. है ना? And so the new frequency will be 1 upon 10 raised to power minus 4. So it will be 10 raised to power 4 hertz. Now we have got the new frequency. What about wavelength? Now for wavelength, now what is the formula that we will use? Wavelength is equal to velocity into frequency. Velocity upon frequency, sorry. But velocity we don't know. So first we will have to find the velocity. So let's find the velocity here. Now you see this. Velocity of the same wave will not change. So velocity कैसे निकालते हैं? Velocity is frequency into wavelength. So इस केस में पहले वाले से ही हम निकाल लेंगे. तो फ्रीक्वेंसी कितना था बेटा? 10 raised to power 3 और वेवलेंथ था 0.332. 10 raised to power 3 is 1000. सो ये 1 2 3 जंप वैसे ही हो जाएगा. सो इट बिकम्स 332 meter per second. This is the velocity. We have to find initially only. So now if we want to find the new wavelength, a new wavelength will be velocity, that is 332 upon new frequency. So it is 332 upon 10 raised to power 4. So the final answer will be, I am writing out here, 0.0332. Okay, because if it is getting divided by 10,000, so you will have to do like this. And since it is wavelength, it will be in meters. Don't forget the units. Now we are on the last question for today. The very easy one. Wavelength of the wave produced on the surface of water, again it is surface of water, is 10 centimeter. Wavelength is 10 centimeter. Velocity is 25 meter per second. Calculate the number of waves produced in 1 second. Number of wave produced in 1 second is nothing but frequency. ये या ये कैसे भी लिखते हैं, है ना? तो फ्रीक्वेंसी हम कैसे निकालते हैं? वेलोसिटी अपॉन वेवलेंथ. सो इट विल बी 25 अपॉन 10. सो 2 नहीं 10 थोड़ी, अच्छा ये तो नंबर ऑफ वेव्स प्रोड्यूस्ड. तो वेवलेंथ, हाँ वेवलेंथ इज 10 सेंटीमीटर, तो उसको मीटर में कन्वर्ट करना पड़ेगा ना. तो 0.1 meter. So it will be 250 hertz. Clear? Clear kids? Now time in which one wave is produced is nothing but time period. So time period is equal to 1 by frequency. So it will be 1 upon 250, which will be 0.004 सेकेंड. जिसको हम अच्छे फॉर्म में लिखना चाहे तो 1 2 3 तो 4 × 10⁻³ seconds. Clear to you children? जहाँ पे भी प्रॉब्लम आती है पॉज द वीडियो, वॉच इट अगेन. You can watch multiple times. That is the beauty of YouTube recorded sessions, so that you understand the question very well. Still, if you are finding any difficulty in any of the problem, please write in the comment section below and we'll be ready to help you. Next coming up are different numericals, all the type of numericals on other physics topics. Please write in the comments which chapter you want me to do first for your upcoming board examinations. And all the very best for your exams. Bye bye my dear students, and keep the learning always on Zenith Academy Online.